The biggest question people ask is why can't Michael Myers die? In John Carpenter's original Halloween, 1978, Michael Myers is portrayed as the embodiment of evil. He murders his sister at age 6 and, 15 years later, returns to Haddonfield to kill again. Loomis, his psychiatrist, is convinced that Michael is not just mentally ill, but pure evil in human form. He famously describes Michael as having the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. In this version, Michael isn't explicitly supernatural, but his survival through gunshots, stabbings, and falls suggests he's something more than human. He's emotionless, silent, and unstoppable, meant to represent fear itself. His inability to die is less about science or magic and more symbolic. Evil doesn't die easily. The timeline also adds a supernatural reason for Michael's resilience. In Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, 1995, we learn about the Curse of Thorn, an ancient druid symbol tied to a cult. The curse grants Michael near immortality and supernatural strength, but in exchange, he must kill his entire bloodline. The cult of Thorn essentially controls Michael, using him as a tool to carry out ritualistic murders. This storyline explains his unnatural ability to survive mortal wounds and return again and again. He's powered by a dark, mystical force. While some fans found this interesting, many thought it was too convoluted and took away the mystery that made Michael scary. Still, it gives a clear reason why he can't die. He's cursed. Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2 take a more psychological and gritty approach. Michael is still terrifying and incredibly strong, but there's no supernatural explanation. He's just a monstrous human driven by rage, trauma, and obsession. Despite this more realistic take, Zombies' Michael still survives impossible injuries, making his resilience more of a horror trope than a plot element. He's essentially a human tank, massive, brutal, and emotionally dead. In Halloween Kills, Michael survives a mob beating, multiple stab wounds, and even being shot. He gets up and slaughters an entire crowd. The film suggests that the more he kills, the stronger he becomes. Fear seems to empower him, feeding into the idea that Michael isn't just a man, but a symbol of evil, growing more unstoppable the more attention and fear he draws. In this trilogy, he's portrayed like a legend, something more than human because people believe he is. Evil becomes myth, and myth becomes reality. Across all timelines, one consistent idea remains: Michael Myers is the embodiment of evil. He doesn't speak, doesn't run, doesn't show emotion. He walks steadily toward his victims, unaffected by pain or injury. Whether explained by curses, psychology, or fear itself, Michael represents something you can't escape. You can shoot it, stab it, burn it, but it keeps coming back. Some horror fans and scholars even compare him to death itself: slow, inevitable, and always following. So why can't Michael Myers die? Because he's cursed, because he's pure evil, because of horror movie logic, or because he's a symbol of something bigger than a man, and that's the terrifying part, whether you believe in supernatural forces or not. Halloween wants you to believe that some evil just won't stay dead.